A woman steps outside to let her dog out and comes face to face with a bear on her porch. A man walks up to a stranger's house pretending to knock, clearly being watched by someone waiting in a car. And a mother carrying her toddler gets followed up her front steps by a stalker. All this and more, these are disturbing things captured on home security cameras. A couple years ago, early in the morning in Daytona Beach, Florida, Gina Helsel stepped outside to let her dog out, something she does all the time to scare off stray cats that hang around her porch. But this time, it wasn't a cat waiting out there, it was a bear. Watch this. Wow, that's a new fear unlocked. God, that is terrifying, eh? The camera makes the bear look all demonic too, with the light reflecting off its eyes. Eesh. According to Gina, the bear was getting in the neighbor's trash, and I caught it in the act, she said. It's always interesting watching videos like this and seeing how people act in horror movies is sometimes more accurate than we think. In her panic, she struggles to get back in the house and close the door. I did fumble with it. It was open too. It wasn't shut all the way because I never shut it all the way when I take him out, Gina said. Thankfully, the bear didn't follow them. According to Mike Orlando from Florida Fish and Wildlife, the bear is mostly focused on the dog. It basically lunges, does a bit of a bluff charge, then when she and the dog retreat, the bear runs away. She wasn't prepared to have a bear sitting there, and the bear probably wasn't prepared to have her show up with a dog, he said. Gina said she's always watching for gators, snakes, and coyotes, but she never thought she'd see a bear outside her door. This next video raises a whole laundry list of questions. It was posted by Shannon Wood on YouTube, who wrote in the description, apparently this guy was put up to knocking on our door. It's clear from our other security cameras that he was never touching the door, as he was fake knocking while watching the car in the driveway. Watch as he puts on a show. And yeah, this is a really odd situation here. So this dude walks up onto the porch, fakes knocking on the door, and notice how he continually looks off to the side. Someone's in a car parked in the driveway, seemingly putting him up to this. Take a look. He also keeps fidgeting with his hands. He looks noticeably uncomfortable with what he's doing, and he then asks, does Matt live here? But notice how exaggerated his hand gestures are and how quietly he says this. It's pretty obvious he's trying to make it look like he's talking to the homeowner when he really isn't. And then he apologizes and leaves, having never actually spoken to anyone.
Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry.
And as he walks down the front yard, he's calling out to the drivers saying, nobody named Matt lives here, and they still have no idea what was going on here. Was this a dare? Was there something more sinister going on? If that's the case, this dude's ruse ended up working, and he protected the homeowners from whatever that person or persons in the car were gonna do. Speaking of close calls, check this out. This woman is carrying her toddler up the steps to her home. She's also on the phone. She's distracted, to say the least, not aware that there's some random guy behind her who's been following her for who knows how long. He doesn't stop when she closes the gate. He brazenly opens it and starts walking up the stairs behind her. She finally notices what's going on, but seems to have a bit of trouble finding her keys. There's that horror movie thing coming true again. Luckily though, her neighbor was outside and there's no audio, but he seems to tell the guy to go away. Thankfully he does. Scary to think what would have happened had he not been outside at the time. It's also scary that this happened just in broad daylight. You're never safe. Always make sure you're being as alert as possible when out in public, especially if your child is with you and you're on a phone call. Any sign you're unaware and distracted, nutcases will take advantage of that. Make sure you don't have your volume up too high for this next one. This clip was posted by Reddit user Nigo Caps, who said, "This is home security camera footage from my friend's relatives in the Philippines. Can I get a possible explanation for this? His grandma had recently died. She lived in that house." So let's take a look at this. 10. So yeah, I told you, that comes out of nowhere. I bet you were expecting to see an orb or like a ghostly shape moving across the screen, not for the washing machine to suddenly, like, I don't know, spaz out. What would you call that? Pretty bizarre. What do you think happened here? Was it just on the fritz? Or is there something paranormal going on in this house? So far, we've had a bear, we've had a mysterious shirtless man, a stalker, and a possessed washing machine. I think it's time for a small, unidentified, alien-like creature, don't you? What exactly do you think this thing is? This video comes from JessDaily406 on TikTok, who said it was captured on her Ring cam at 3 a.m. Something darts across the yard and runs down the street beyond the hedges. Whatever it is, it's short. You'd think it'd be an animal, but what makes this so bizarre is it doesn't look to move on all fours. It looks like it's running on 2 legs. One commenter said it's kind of shaped like those little alien dudes from Men in Black. Totally agree there. It's got that short but spindly kind of look. But I don't know, what do you all think of this one? Share your thoughts down below. This next piece of security footage comes from Reddit user OKThanks3022, who said the footage comes from his friend's workplace and that whatever this thing was, it activated the motion sensors on the camera. Take a look at this. Someone in the comments said it was probably a shadow from someone walking outside, but it doesn't really look like that to me. It's not just black like shadows are, and it has a more solid shape to it. At first, it actually just looks like someone walking through the empty restaurant. I thought it may have been an intruder, but then they just walk into the wall and vanish. Any explanations for this one? Let us know in the comments. Posted to Reddit by SS Shooter is this creepy piece of home security footage. SS Shooter wrote, "My buddy caught this footage on his Blink camera. A figure appears from behind the right tree. When the motion lights activate, the figure seems to disappear. It looks small, like a child, but moves kind of weird. Any thoughts?" I do have thoughts. I think this is legitimately strange. I know home security cameras can be kind of janky sometimes. What looks like a semi-translucent, ghostly entity usually isn't. But this one is kind of different. Someone or something was there, but then it completely disappears when the light hits it. I don't really have any solid explanation for this one. What do you all think, though? Glowing orb footage is a dime a dozen, especially these days, but have you ever seen a mysterious orb transform into a person? Well, you're about to. So this happened early in the morning on August 22nd, 2024, around 4:26 a.m. A security camera in Mexico caught this glowing ball of light floating across a field, but you can see it slowly changes shape, forming into a person, seemingly. Actually, it looks more like 2 people standing close together. Now, for the sake of transparency here, I don't think there's anything paranormal going on here. I'm chalking this up to 2 people walking across a field and that not so great camera only picking up the flashlight on their phone until they stand still and they kind of morph into view. Still, it does make for a pretty strange piece of footage. This next video is very real and pretty unsettling. How would you like to step outside and see this guy lurking around in your yard? In the middle of the night, some dude was creeping around people's houses armed to the teeth. He had a hammer hanging off his belt, an axe, and yes, that long, sharp object he's holding under his arm is a sword. You don't see that every day, thankfully. Luckily, nobody gets hurt here. He doesn't even try to break in. He just steals a few things from outside and then leaves. Clearly, he was ready for things to get violent, though. I mean, I don't think anyone shows up at someone's door brandishing a sword and a hammer unless they're ready to use it. In 2023, a now deleted Reddit user posted this eerie video. His home security camera caught what he says is a shadow figure gliding down his stairs in the middle of the night. Something that left him and his family pretty shaken. Here we see this dark shape drift down the steps before slipping behind a wall and vanishing. The man explained that his motion sensor usually picks up harmless little white orbs, which he assumed were just dust or bugs, but this time he said, "Last night was different. It caught this figure, shadow, or whatever you want to call it, moving down my stairs." What makes it worse is that his family had already been kind of uneasy for a bit. He wrote, "My family and I have had a sense of being watched before, but this blew my mind. I am terrified. Please help." The post quickly filled up with people offering theories, some saying it might be a camera glitch or a light distortion. Others said it just looked way too smooth and deliberate to be a technical issue. As always, what do you think? With all that said, I've been your host, James. I'll catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next video.